Hello, Booze House Tales here. Just coming up with you something slightly different. As if you know me personally, you know that I'm quite into my music. So into going to gigs, going to the club, and into the festival scene as well. So I'd like to speak a bit about that as well. I think I'm going to do that over video rather than photos like my standard Instagram feed. Just because when you go to the club, it's generally at night, and night photos of a club are generally a bit shit because obviously a bit worse for wear because you're in the club. So that would just make shit content. So I think maybe just me talking about it might be slightly better. My history with the club really comes from being back from where I'm from. So going to indie clubs in Romford is really where I started. So going to Edge and then going to Opium is where it really began. And then once you get a bit older, started making new friends from the club, and then getting into different music scenes, which happened probably to most people. So you just naturally grow with your musical tastes. So then for a while got into kind of like Fidget House, and then had a big kind of quite a very big crew of friends that were called the Raving Buddies, and we used to go to semi-legal parties over London. Listen to Fidget House when Fidget House was like really big. So we used to go to a thing called Put Math Disco, which was a really good party. That was fantastic. I had great times there, met great people there. And then that kind of evolved, and then people used to go to squat parties and things like that, which wasn't really my scene, to be honest. But I went to a few of them. But then I feel like squat parties are more about the party scene rather than the music. And I would lean always more towards the music rather than the party, for party's sake. So since from that, I've been going to parties and festivals and club nights up and down the country and all over the world. So I feel like I've got a bit of an insight into music / club world, festival world. So I'd just like to share that with people, if people care or not. So I'm going to start with a club that I went to very recently. So last week I went to the Calls last Friday to see Little Louis. I was a bit hungover, to be fair, and tired due to being at a wedding the day before all day. So it was a very good wedding. So you can imagine at a wedding you get pretty smashed and drink a load of booze and have a load of fun. So that was the day before going to the club. But I thought I'd go to the club because my friend mentioned to me that the Calls apparently is going to be closed at the end of the year. So I've never been to the Calls, so I thought no time like the present to go there, especially if it's going to be closing under threat. Ways to keep places open is to go and visit them to make sure people are going through the door. If someone's busy, it's less likely to be closed. So I thought it's best if I go now rather than when it's too late, when the club's actually disappeared. And especially Little Louis, he's like a Chicago house legend, big in the game, big in the scene, and it's always going to bring a good night. So we went to 5 Miles First, which is about probably 10-15 minute walk from the Calls, just for a few pre-drinks because that's open from early doors, I think. So I was in there and then walked down to the Calls maybe for about midnight-ish, and then we was just outside, managed to source a ticket for cheaper than on the door, which was all good, it was all gravy. We went inside because it was maybe like 12:30 now. By the time we walked there, got in, got ourselves sorted, been searched and whatnot. It was pretty empty, or not? It was not empty, but it wasn't super busy in the main room of the Calls. So we've gone in there, and it seemed like the music was quite quiet. It felt like it was like turned down. I don't know if it's on purpose. I don't know if it's what clubs do and promoters do to G the crowd up, but that's one of the first things I noticed when I walked into the main room. That the music's like really low. So I was at the bar with my mates, just getting a drink, and you could like talk to one another just like this, and it was no bother. Not like being in like a raucous, like booming club where it's difficult to speak to people. We have to like shout because it's like super loud. But it was like pretty empty, pretty quiet in the main room. So we thought we'd have a little mill about because it's the first time we've been to the Claws. So there's Calls is made up of like kind of 3 rooms. So in the back left corner next to the bar, there's like a room, but it seems more of like a storage room really. But there is a set of decks set up in there, so there's people DJing there. There's like a little crowd in there. It's a very small room. So I went in there for a little bit, checked it out. It was okay. And then mooched over to the other room, which is probably in the top right hand corner from where the entrance, and that is more really the actual proper second room. That room's like decked out in kind of like a Tron attire on the wall, so it's all black and it's got like these green square lines across the wall, and there's like there's actually a proper DJ booth in that one, and also like proper like DJ lights going on in that room. So it was in there as well, and there's like another little bar right in the corner of that room as well. And that was decent. So I was moving around the club waiting for like Little Lee to come on. So now it must be about 1:30. Wasn't sure of set times, but we knew he must be on pretty soon. So it's getting a bit more busy in the club. But before that, we've like thought we'd pop outside, just have a little chat, go to a smoking area, like calm down, chill out a little bit before it gets going. Did that for like 5-10 minutes, had a little chin wag, went back in the club, started getting more busy in the club. DJ before like played like French Kiss, Little Louis like big track, and then it was started getting a bit more busy in the club, and then lo and behold, Little Louis come on, and then it seems like the whole club completely changed when Little Louis come on. It was like it seemed to just come bang like super busy once he started his set, and then it seemed like the music was like just whacked up like at least like 5 levels, I'd say. It's like it was like a different club, like music wise, just with the feel, not like different genre of music. It was just the same genre of music as the DJ before, but because it felt like because Little Lee was on, it feels like now it's time to shine as a club, which I felt a bit sorry for the warm up DJ that he was getting like the short straw with like the sounds not getting the full capacity of the sound system. Well, that's what it felt to me anyway. But yeah, when Little Louis was on, it was like a really good atmosphere, bit of an older crowd because of Little Louis and what generation he's from. So he's like from the like early 90s, late 80s. But he was bringing the heat, and it was good. I hope the rumour's not true about the calls, because it seems like a good addition to the London club scene, especially in Tottenham now. There's got like quite a few clubs up that way. It'd be, well, no one really wants to see music venues and clubs closing, unless there's like outstanding reasons why they need to, because there's been enough venues that have closed over the last years in London. So we need to try and keep venues open, and the way to keep venues open and clubs open is to visit the clubs, and I'd say the Calls is a club very worth visiting. Yep, and that's my review of the Calls. That's me, Booze House Tales. Goodbye.